Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Things are really heating up at our house now that we're empty nesters again, Murph, especially last night. It was getting really hot in the house. And Murphy had to tell me. Yeah, I didn't realize it when you're so sensitive to temperature.
It's weird. I'm sensitive to temperature and I'm sensitive to smells. So yes, when something's off, I can tell.
Like, I didn't realize it right away. And he's like, I hope you know that this part of the house isn't cooling. And he was so upset about it.
And she's like, it is, you know,
really?
it feels like it's,
I feel like I hear it running.
Yeah. and it was but it turned out I was right. There's just a sense if you're used to a certain temperature in your environment and it was a little more muggy, it was a little more, I could tell that something was going on. And so almost everything about our AC is new. It was replaced just a couple of years ago. So I was really surprised that, it would be hot.
And it was no light bill to replace everything. Like, it was a big deal. In fact, I feel like you said, and rightly so, I'm not digging on any company, but you said, well, this thing should be cranking for years now.
Yeah, right.
Because we spent some change fixing that.
Yeah, it's not cheap to fix an AC and heat and all that
AC work
kind of stuff.
is not cheap.
Right.
No.
But I love what we've got, and they did a really good job with it. But I realized, okay, well, before I go calling, let me go outside and see if the compressor's frozen over, which is what happened the last time, and there was no ice out there. I'm thinking, well, okay, now that might not be a bad sign, because if you have ice out there, you definitely have an issue that you're going to have somebody come repair. That's not something you're going to fix yourself. And so I went up. First time, we've been in this house for 6 years. Literally, the first time in 6 years, the pan was full. So the switch had just, it shut the air off. So that was a big relief, because that's something I can deal with myself.
So your pipe was clogged?
Yeah. The little drain pipe,
What would you do?
Well, that's what I was going to explain to you. I did a couple of different things. So I have.
Brag. Let me explain to you.
Right.
I got me a big straw.
No, I mean, I've learned over the years to try to make it just easier on myself for that. I mean, the first thing that I did was I poured bleach into it to, move it out, and that's what I've always done. And 9 times out of 10, that starts to loosen up the moldy stuff. I'll reverse the shop vac and blow that out, and then it's cleaned up. But what's always been a pain in the butt is actually trying to get the water out of the pan, which.
Yeah, I give him an old cup. He's like, you don't keep plastic cups.
Yeah, I'm like,
no.
That was always my go-to. Okay, what plastic cup do you not want anymore, Jodi? And just start scooping it out.
I got rid of them all.
Have you ever had to empty your pan? Or
no, I had it fill up one time, and I blew out the pipe.
Yeah,
that was. I've never had a problem other than
that. But the pan didn't shut off, because if the pan's full of water, it's got a trip switch that shuts it off.
It shut off, so I had to go up and clean it out.
That's what I'm saying. Did you have to empty it? So I've had to do that so many times over the years.
Different house.
I finally wised up with a hack a couple of years ago, and I haven't had to use it because we've never needed it in this house. Last house I used it in is, instead of having to do that with a cup,
up and down the stairs,
a portable sump pump. That's battery powered, because I'm Mr. Safety. I don't like plugging something in that I'm going to put into water, even though I know that the electric versions are safe. But I just brought that up there. That thing emptied it quick, and we were back in business in about a half hour. So,
nice.
So, and
so exciting. I guess I should have followed you around and checked all this out and learned it. But I've heard you talk about it so many times. It's like, I think he's emptying a pan. I don't know what he's doing, I'm just waiting. I'm just watching Grey's Anatomy while he's going up and down the stairs and up and down the stairs.
How's it going up there?
You have talked about this before, but I don't even know what the pan looks like.
Well, I should bring you up there and show you sometime.
Yeah, you should.
Take you on a tour.
And I need to give you the bill for last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're the one that noticed it.
But, that's an example of a tool that we were talking about, the thing that you got for Father's Day from your son, Will, the little infrared temperature checker. You're not going to need that every single day, but when you need it, it's there. And that's
by the way, did you use it?
What? The temperature? No, I knew it was hot. I didn't think about that. It would have been fun to
let me
tell
say this.
Jodi, see, there's a 10 degrees differential here, Jodi. But I didn't do that.
I'm so glad you didn't do that. What's so funny is that the way I could tell, it was warm in that part of the house, which would be our bedroom, all the bedrooms in the front part of our house. It was very warm by the time you were going up and down and fixing it. It's like, okay, I'm glad he's fixing this. And then I, clean the kitchen, get ready for bed. And I took my shower. And after my shower, you don't even know this. One of the true indicators for me is before going to bed, not every night, but often, I put coconut oil on my body. I like to put it on for moisturizing.
It smells good too.
But it comes in a solid form. It's in a jar. It sits next to on my bathtub. And when I reached in to get it, it's usually hard, a solid form. But it had been warm in the house since late afternoon. It was just smooth. It was not liquid yet, but it was like butter that had been sitting out. It was just, whoa, and it was running down my hand. I'm like, okay, here we go. You can tell by everything reacts to, the warmth. Mm-hmm. It changes the composition of things.
Yeah.
So,
when I noticed it was getting warm, what's weird is it was only 1 degree warmer in the house than normal when I caught it. Oh. So it only got about 6 or 7 degrees up, higher. It was just under 80. But yeah, I was excited that I still had that. The only frustration point, since it's got batteries, I don't keep D batteries in the house because you usually don't need them. But the D batteries had been in there, and for 6 years, and they still work.
Whoa.
So I got really lucky. It wasn't as strong. I'm sitting there going, okay, come on. You can hang in there long enough to empty this pan. Right. But it emptied it out, and it's just so much easier than trying to scoop and put it in the bucket and scoop and put it in the bucket.
I have a question, though. You said you emptied it out enough. You didn't empty it all the way. Why not empty it all the way?
Well, it's tough to get it completely empty. Once the pipe's unclogged, the rest of it will evaporate.
Okay.
But the pan is always supposed to be dry. It should never have water in it unless there's a condensation leak. And its job is to catch it, as it happens. And I guess because condensation can leak even if your drain is not clogged, it may collect a little here and there. But usually if your pan's filling up, it's a sign of, one of two things. You either have a leak somewhere or you've got your drain, the condensation drain is blocked.
So what caused the drain to be blocked?
It's kind of like a moldy kind of an algae thing.
Funk.
Different parts of the country don't, necessarily have to experience that, but any humid environment, you're going to, it's that kind of algae, moldy stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's coincidentally, I was talking to my mom, Miss Jodi, a couple of weeks ago, and she goes, the air conditioner was out.
Oh.
And what happened? The guy came and he told me something about a switch and a pan and a pipe. And I was like,
I feel you, Judy.
I said, your pipe was clogged, and so it filled up and it hit the switch and it stopped working. Oh, so you know all about that stuff. It's like,
so you could.
No, I just know that one. I don't know the rest of the unit.
Isn't that funny how Judy heard what I heard? Something about a pipe, something about a drain and a pan.
Yeah. The reason I started using the shop vac, by the way, is not a very powerful one because I don't want to blow it, out of the pipe on the other side or, have it back up into the unit. But I just learned the hard lesson a long time ago about blowing into the pipe, especially after, putting the bleach in it. Not a smart move. Yeah, right, exactly.
It splashed on you?
Well, it just kind of, I didn't ingest or inhale it, but I mean, that's what can happen. If it's plugged up and it's plugged up enough, your breath is not going to be enough to necessarily push it out. But anyway.
Years ago, I actually used a bicycle pump to clear it out.
Oh.
It was like
really?
It was like a stick bicycle pump that just had the hole on the end. It wasn't the kind with the tube on it.
Yeah.
And so I put it right up against the hose and
interesting.
And it worked.
Wow.
This was like 20, 30 years. 30 years ago.
It's still the same process. It's still the same result.
I mean, this is PVC pipe, so I had to put my hand around it to create enough of a seal for it to blow.
Okay. But anyway, it's all cool.
But that was just one of those relief because it's my grandmother always was talking about she's on a fixed income because she's always fixing everything. That was her favorite line, and she's right about that. I mean, home ownership is just one of those things. It's like so when you actually get a break of something where you can fix it yourself,
it's a victory.
It's like, whew, okay, good.
When stuff like that first happens, me, my God, here we go again. Yeah. I just had this thing replaced, and then you go up there and it's like, oh wait, I know this one.
Yes,
I can do this one.
Right.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.